What's going on, YouTube? How's everybody doing out there? It's a Monday. Monday. We're not Monday Night Raw. No, this is not. Oh, in a way, it's kind of raw. You never know what's going to happen. Didn't show I got. Oh, finally, shows I got one person watching. Don't know who that is. Nobody in my basement. Sent links out already. So we'll see who shows up and everything. And let me guess, Randy, you're out there watching. I was actually on his stream earlier today. Oh, 3Bs, how you doing? Oh, I'm glad you showed up. So what have you been up to today? See, there's Randy. No problem. That's good. Oh. Yeah, of course, I was telling Randy earlier that, of course, in the video I had, I'm having 3 stitches taken out that they left in from the last week and everything. No. I'm not going to do that, there, board. We got our first contestant. He's still not dressed right.
Hey, I heard that.
Good. At least we know you're not deef.
Huh? What?
So I see the washing machine still hadn't spit out your Menard shirt. Yeah, the hand is healing good and everything. Still wanting the swelling to go down on it. Right now, I do not have any kind of dressing on it. Doctor said, nope, don't need any kind of dressing on it. Just let it breathe. So right now, the only thing I've got on there is I've got the brace, and we just went around with the elastic wrap just to help hold it on there and keep it secured. I've got to be back, like I said, on the 30th for them to do a follow-up on it, x-ray, see how the bone's healing. Randy, that's a possibility. But I got a feeling that it's a fact he's just gotten too fat and too lazy to go and do his own laundry.
Excuse me, I've done some laundry. I've folded some laundry and all that.
Okay, fine, you're excused, but I have no idea where your bathroom's at. I'm not familiar with the house layout.
Just because I'm not wearing a Menard shirt does not is. I have other shirts that are not Menard shirts. See,
Yeah,
plain old dark blue.
Yeah, we've seen that. You also got some white ones.
Yep.
But even though you're wearing white, don't mean you're pure and everything.
And then I sometimes
We
wear.
definitely know how dirty minded you can be.
What?
I said, if you're wearing a white shirt, we know you're not pure. Because you've definitely shown that you have a dirty mind.
A white shirt, and I am missing something here.
Oh, so that one. So in other words, that one went.
Yeah, like a Tekken Blue Angel or something like that. I got my Metallica shirt, which everybody has seen on here.
Yep.
And then I got my Detroit Red Wings one, and shut up. I know where you're going to go with that one.
Well, you only wear that once a month.
See, fellas? I called it. I said, shut up right away, and he still, opened up his. All right, where's the daggum glue that has a man hanging from a hard hat advertised?
Oh, that's an old one there. Surprised you even know about that one. That's super glue.
Yes, it is. Good job.
I remember seeing that when it first came out. When it was advertised on TV.
There's the guy.
Yeah, of course, he was only about probably maybe a couple of feet off the floor. It's called a blue screen.
Green screen.
Probably back then it was blue. They couldn't afford green. Or they just had the backdrop making it look like that.
Randy, I have actually worked on my dryer before.
That's why it doesn't work anymore now.
It works perfectly fine.
Oh, so daughter worked on it too?
Where's it? Watch it. I got two functioning hands here.
So? Hey, don't forget, I've got something solid right here that works good to really jab with.
Oh, so he's going to go with the Ric Flair approach with the dirty-handed tactics.
Well, I can always pretend I'm a proctologist on you.
Gotta catch me there at first.
Just let daughter hold you down.
She'd be just standing back going like, oh boy, what the hell going on here?
Yeah, you should probably be the one holding the video camera to be able to post that on YouTube.
No, she'd just be with Crystal wondering what the heck is going on.
Crystal will be the one helping to edit the video. And giving more instructions. Hell, she'd probably be the one handing me the KY. Say, hey, you need to go in a little bit deeper.
All right, folks, dude. Does anybody know how YouTube feels about the middle finger?
Well, this starting to go way out past left field out to the parking lot.
And
Hey,
I wonder who turned it this way.
hey, that's why I say you never know what's gonna happen or be said on the stream.
All right, who fed fuel to the fire?
Yeah. But I didn't get a chance to see that one yet. That's one of the things that I'm wanting to. Just I've been watching, other videos and everything. There's like some of the stupid people as far as why they get arrested. Okay. I thought you already had that one out. Hey, I'll be looking forward to it then. But But like that, and of course, some of the other videos where people are making things, um, giving me good ideas on what to do. I mean, some of them, okay. Oh, so you're playing William Tell. Okay. But no, I've been watching a lot of the videos where I know they're like over India, Afghanistan, Pakistan, uh, and everything, where they're taking uh, motorcycle engines, or wrecked motorcycles, and making small little vehicles out of them. They're making. There's even guys even over in Poland. Uh, he actually took converted a motorcycle into a small little three-wheeled car that's totally enclosed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, but a lot of those videos is like I see them and everything, and they're using a regular differential that's a shaft drive, and I'm going, I wish I could find something like that here. I mentioned to Crystal, she goes, look on uh, Alibaba. So I was like, it's about Alibaba Express. Because no, Alibaba. I looked on there. They actually do have those differentials.
Mm.
I'm going, they're not expensive either. Yeah, that's probably one of them I watch where they're all doing all the, they're making everything and they're all walking around in sandals and everything. There's your munchkin. But no, they show how they make the what's it called? I guess tuk tuks, or over there in the. Hey, speak of the devil, there is daughter. Um, actually, some of them you can actually order one. So now she's off work.
Mm-hmm.
But let me see if I can find it and everything. Because it's not Alibaba Express, it's just Alibaba. Um, oh,
Hey, CDC.
hey Robert, how you doing? I have no idea where Arabelle says. Yeah, I do. Bingo.
Mm.
Um, yeah, some of these they're not that um, expensive. That here's something. If I could find one of these sitting in a junkyard, which I do have connection on that. I mean, for a Toyota RAV4, I mean, should be a drive shaft input. Um, I believe. I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like it's like a drive shaft input on it. but you can hook up CV joints to it. I'm going, that would work. At $280, yeah, I like bingo. The only problem for me is I hate going and not winning anything. It's all that money you spend and not winning. Now, finding on here like different, hell, here's one for Cadillac and everything. I'm going, okay, well, hell, I can, like I said, junkyard. This is telling me stuff, giving me stuff that, I can go to my local junkyard and be able to pick up. Like, here's one for a Beamer. They want $390. So yeah, I mean they've got them on there. They're not that expensive either. Yeah, Randy, what that means is that the battery itself was there's a temperature sensor inside there. So if the battery was too hot, the red light will flash also. That means it's too hot. The charger will not charge it until the battery cools down. Then it will charge it. I had the same thing happen to me on my Cobalt, and yeah, on both the Cobalt.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if you put the battery straight on right after using it, I mean, we're talking within 5 minutes, you put it on the charge, you actually feel it. That battery's kind of warm because it's been being used. It's gotten hot, so it's got to have a chance to cool down before it will start charging. They all do that. It's a safety precaution on the battery. I don't care if it's Cobalt, Craftsman, Bauer, Makita, Duwalt. They all do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Because depend on what the chemistry is, it
Yep.
overheats and it can do some pretty nasty stuff.
Well, considering the fact if the battery starts getting charged and it's hot already, we've seen what happens to EVs when they start burning.
Yeah.
They're made with lithium ion, and everything. Same as the batteries.
Mm-hmm.
Over these tools.
And also same with like lithium polymer batteries that goes
Yep.
into like the radio controlled cars and combat robots that people build and whatnot.
Yep.
When those batteries go up, oh boy, do they release a lot of smoke.
Smoke and a lot of heat.
And a lot of heat.
Right.
And fire and
Well, I mean, I do know that about 2 or 3 years ago, I saw a video of a guy's house and everything burnt, and they determined it all started in his garage because that was the most destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why for me it's like if I charge one of my batteries, as soon as I know it's charged, I'm taking it off because they determined because he left it on the charger, it overheated the battery. The battery itself was what caught on fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Year and a half or something like that ago, nearby radio car a radio controlled car racing place, um, where you can take your more expensive RC cars and such to race. Um, one of the lithium polymer batteries uh, was accidentally left on charger, and everybody left, and that whole unit went up in flames.
Yep. Because the battery,
Luckily,
because the battery got too hot, and we all know what happens to battery like that. It it starts burning, and you can't put them out, no matter
no,
how much water you've got. The only thing you do is just let them sit there and burn.
yep. Um,
I don't know, Randy, if he does
um,
know. But yeah, Randy had problems with breakers inside of his house.
mm, um, luckily, the strip mall there was constructed to keep everything isolated to that one particular section.
Right.
The adjacent businesses got maybe very, very light smoke, and that was it.
Like I said, once I don't care if it's a battery like from one of my Cobalt tools or the Bauer. It could be said DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee, Craftsman. Could be Hart. Um, it could be just any other one out there that works off of lithium ion. I mean, it could be one of the what gets me or what scares me kind of is it could be one of the solar batteries I've got.
Mm,
Those things get overheated, but thank goodness the charge controller. That's why I've got it in there. That way, it controls how much power is put into the batteries.
um, I do not know about the breaker problem that he had.
Right. Yeah, he had a problem with breakers in the house, and they were tripping. Um, it was actually a bad breaker.
Yeah, yeah, they wear out.
Yep. I mean, breakers aren't going to last forever. I mean, they're going to last, you know, so much time depending upon how much current is drawn through them. So if
Mm-hmm.
you've got one that um, is continuously being used, then yeah, it's just contacts and everything inside there getting heated up. Yeah, yeah. The 100 amp, yeah,
Mm. Um, and I am sure that the more that they get tripped, the um shorter their lifespan.
yep. But it's basically they only trip because so much current, so many amp, it's the amperage that's pulled across them, and that's what they're designed for. So,
Mm-hmm.
say you've got a 15 amp breaker, and all of a sudden you got I mean, they're going to have a little bit of leeway. I mean, they're not going to trip if say it's 17 amps.
Mm-hmm.
But say you've got a 15 amp in there and you're trying to pull 30 amps, it's going to trip because that's an overload.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, these saying
And
wrong type, so yeah.
and
But that's all.
all they are used for is to protect the wires in your walls.
Yep. That's also another thing is you got to make sure you've got the correct wire for that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just having the right breaker; it's having the right gauge wire. So like the lights I've got here, okay, they are all running off of I think 14 2 Romex, which is the white.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine because I've got LED lights. It's only pulling. Then I'm pulling the 15 amps the breaker's set for.
Oh, those LED lights are pulling barely anything.
Yeah, I mean that's why I've got what 4. I can run 5 down this side and 5 or 6 down the other side, and I'm still not even at the maximum amount of the breaker limit.
And then you got yellow, which is 12 gauge,
It's yellow is 12 too.
made for 20 amp service.
Yep, that's 20 amps. Now you can run a 15 amp breaker on 12 too. That's no big deal because the wire itself is designed for up to
Yeah.
20 amps. So you can run a 10, 15, 20 amp breaker on that. But you cannot run a 20 amp breaker on 14 because it's only designed for 15 amps. You can, but you're taking a chance of that's overloading it and melting the insulation, causing a fire.
Yep.
That's why I like for the table saw, the miter saw, everything I've got over there, that's all running off of a 20 amp breaker, but I'm running the 12 tube Romex, which is designed for the 20 amps.
Isn't it they're like 12.2 and 12.3?
Yeah,
Memory serves right. I remember seeing
12.3,
that.
yeah, 12.3 is, that's actually for a low, very low 220.
Mm.
I mean, that's for like running, if you've got something that is designed for run 220, 220, 240, something like that, um, it's going to have your 2 hots, a neutral, and a ground.
Mm. So that's like your electric clothes dryer is probably your fridge.
Now refrigerators are 110,
Wait, yeah, one.
but a dryer,
Oh.
now a dryer is going to be 220, but on that, you're actually going to have to run, you can't run 12 gauge. You're going to have to run, it's either 8 or 10, probably a 10 gauge wire, because we're looking at 30 amps. The dryer is going to pull a lot more, so it's going to be pulling about 30 amps.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't run 12. You're going to have to run at least a 10 gauge. It's either an 8 or a 10. I'd have to double check by looking it up. I don't remember off the top of my head.
I think Randy's onto something
Yeah.
with that big wire.
Yeah.
Electric furnace, electric dryer,
Electric, right, electric
probably maybe
hot water, hot
oh,
water heater.
electric range.
Electric range, yeah, that's going to have to be at least a 30 amp breaker. And that's probably going to be, I'm thinking it's going to have to be at least a 10 gauge. So, I mean, you can get 10, I think 10.2 in Romex,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to be, or it'd be 10.3, which would be your 2 hots, which is going to be a red, a black, a white, and a bear. Because your red and your black are going to be your 2 hots. The white's going to be your neutral, and then you've got the white being ground. I mean, I'll admit, I'm not an electrician. You know, never worked for electric. You know, anybody doing electrical. but it's just the fact that I've learned over the years how to do this stuff, and the way I look at it. Okay, I don't care if it's AC or DC, and I'm not talking about the rocker. Okay, the way I look at it, simple fact is, um, okay, with alternating current, you got, as they say, you're gonna have a hot, a neutral, and a ground. Okay, with direct current, which is like my solar, you're only talking about, as they say, positive and negative. Well, it's still a hot and a neutral, or hot and a ground. So it's still the same way, but with alternating current until what, the 80s or something like that. I forget when it changed. You look at most houses built, say, up into the what, 50, 60, something like that. You only had the two prong outlet in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So you had positive. It was a hot in the ground, or a positive negative. The only thing they did when they went to the three outlet, three, uh, the three one, they just added went from a hot, neutral, and a ground. Neutral and ground, same thing.
Yeah, this place has a bunch of old two-prong plugs.
Yep. So it's basically, you're positive, negative, just like what you've got on your car, which is a positive, negative.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I look at it. Is like, okay, that's why I can, I've been doing automotive work for a long time, a lot longer than dealing with this stuff. That's how I look at it. So, okay, how much power am I pulling? Okay, uh, I'm not going to run a 18 gauge wire from my battery down to the starter. It's not heavy, it's not big enough. Yeah, I know that starter's going to pull a lot more amperage
Mm-hmm.
than what an 18 gauge wire. I mean, at least 2 gauge. Look how thick a set of jumper cables are.
Mm-hmm.
About what, 2 or 4? Because they need to be able to pull all that current. But are you going to use a 2 amp or 2 gauge wire for your car speakers? No, that's overkill. Yeah. And Randy, on something like that, drawing 100 amps, that's probably going to be running I'd say at least a 4 gauge on that. I don't believe you can get by with a 6. Something like that, I'm thinking it's got to be at least a 4 gauge. Yeah. But I do know that when I moved out to the country, I had to get the wire coming from the uh, meter, actually from the top of the supply down to my meter, through my breaker box, and from there into the mobile home I had to get 2 aught. And it's only because that had to be able to handle 200 amps. At that time, it was actually cheaper for me to get a roll of it, cut it to length myself, than by having them, measure out 3 separate pieces. The ants are all over right now. Had all this damn rain. got them invading the house. It's all those little sugar ants. And they are really wanting to call them sugar ants, but as everybody says, yeah, they're what we call piss ants because they just piss you off. Little black things. They're all over. They must have a nest somewhere because every now and then I get one to drop down on me. Yeah, carpet ant. I mean, they're going after the food and everything. Well, we've only been getting them here for about 2 weeks now. They've been getting worse, and that's because of the rain. But I actually have, speaking of which, let me check my order. The last time I looked, it was saying it was, okay, that's gotten delivered, those got delivered. So, okay, I've got stuff already delivered today.
You got them ants. We have a box elder bugs.
All right, well, now this, let me present this. Okay. This is what I had delivered to me today. And I wound up getting that because it, didn't need much of it. But it's the main ingredient that is what works. Oops, didn't need that. Wasn't that? So, okay. So the main ingredient, and I know I'm gonna butcher it. Sodium tetraborate casshydrate, commonly known as borax, which is the common ingredient in laundry detergent. And I mean, it says on there it's 5.4%. So I actually saw a video out on YouTube, 3 ingredients on it, okay? Water, regular table sugar, and borax soap. Heat the water up or it'll dissolve the sugar. Put in the borax and stir it where it's all dissolved. Let it cool down. Put it out. The guy was actually using a seashell. Ants were coming all over to it. And he showed a week later and he said, they're not here anymore. There's a few of them, but not that many. So actually in there in the in between, what Crystal called her craft room, which is the old dining room, we got the hutch and everything, or buffet. I just got the lid off of a jar and everything, not that big around. That thing is getting black because they're getting into it, going after it and everything. They're dying. It's killing them. And probably later tonight I'm going to have to get that thing cleaned out and refill it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, simple three ingredient ant killer. Actually, what I used on that one, it's the same company, but it was actually for fruit flies. Seems to be working. I'm not going to complain. But like I said, I've got this other. I'm going to see how that does. And I noticed that right now I've actually been having them out here up on the desk. But since I put that other out, I actually have one up underneath the monitor. I've not been seeing them. I even got one down by the door coming in.
Mm-hmm. Then
Okay, we got a 20-minute countdown. I'm gonna say it 25-minute countdown before Arnie shows up.
that is 8:05 Eastern or 7:05 your time.
Well, I'm saying 25 minutes from now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that would be 7:05 my time, Central. But I'm just saying that that'll be probably when Arnie shows up, probably when Susan shows up. A lot of the others, because I guarantee they're over there playing bingo. Because that stops at 7 o'clock Central. Yep, bingo night. Yeah, she'll be there too, probably, or she's doing her homework. Oh, did you see the video I put out earlier about my hand?
Oh no, nope, not yet.
Yeah. I do, I showed the back of the hand as far as what it
Yeah,
looks like
it's in
as of
your,
right now.
it's in the thumbnail.
Yeah. And like I said, it's all right. Yeah, that's why I'm still like this. And that's only because, like I said, I got too impatient trying to get that other done. And that blade caught the wrap, the ace bandage and everything. Boom, my hands went straight up into it. There is Mr. Bill Beckett.
Hey, Bill.
I guess he's not playing bingo.
Nah, he don't play bingo.
Nah. I mean, and like I said, that was all like just a split second is all it took. Like I said, there was what almost 3 feet of the that wrap and everything. It got wrapped around the arbor of the blade. Hey, DC.
Hey, DC.
Okay, what did work do to you this time? What are they complaining about now? Hang on, I got a better idea.
Ooh. Oh.
All right, Sarah's saying she's on her way home, so she'll be up whenever she gets there. She's waiting on the bus.
Mm.
Sending a message to Crystal right now. Oh, why not, Bill? We can blame you. Why not? Ooh, that's not good. That's not good at all. I know for me, I always make sure that I ain't gonna wait up for you. At least I'm glad you're over here lurking. That's a lot of packages. Yeah. Looking at my email and everything. See, yep. They got one big box, one small one, in one bag. That's got everything in it that got ordered. Hey, barbecue.
Hey, barbecue. And hey, Sarah.
Yeah, well, DC, that's what I always do. Now, for me, one thing I learned was whenever you fill out the form for tax deduction, check the box for single. That way, they withhold. Excuse me. They withhold the maximum amount. That way, everything's covered. I've been doing that for what, over 30 years, 30, 40 years, something like that. And ever since I've been working, and I've never had to pay. I've always gotten some kind of a refund. Sometimes it might be a couple of $100. I've had one that was like $1,200. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you can always now. Are you having them take anything additional out? Because I know you can have that done. Sarah, I need a refill. Yeah.
Sure, now I want to make another pot.
Oh. Well, stop trying to destroy stuff, DC. I'm still waiting to hit that 100. Actually, no. Take that back. I can't. Bless you.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
can't. I have come very close to breaking 50. I haven't got that far yet. Ah. Well, that's what you get for rolling in the big dough. That's why I was hearing it out of both speakers at the same time. I was really getting it in stereo.
Oh, goodness. Oh, I wonder if the damn egg.
Sinuses.
Yes.
It's all that pollen you're getting up there.
Holy. It's a
Oh,
bit dry and.
it's a little dough. Not the big dough, not the medium. So you got the little dough.
Uh, thank you,
Oh,
DC.
oh, that just reminded me of that damn joke, and I can't say the punchline on it either. Not on here. All I'm saying is, uh, take what you were talking about and put in front of that dill. Well, barbecue, I'm doing pretty good. Doctor said my hand's healing up where I don't have to have the dressings anymore. So, I, I mean, I don't have anything, no dressing on it at all. It's the only thing I've got on my hand right now is I've got the splint and I've got the little A-style wrap and everything, help holding it on there. But I've got to go back in a couple of weeks for them to do an X-ray, and unfortunately, they're saying possibility of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my only concern is as long as I'm physically able to be able to go back to work by the 6th. Yeah.
Well, they might.
Well, if I can't go
Might.
back by the 6th, um, that's where I'm going to have a problem. Yeah. Well, it's definitely not going to be a cool one because I did the video on it earlier showing how big it is and where it starts and where it ends. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's something I didn't want. Uh, well, right now, I'm not having any problems with it at all. So I think Crystal was a little upset she didn't have the little Pillsbury Doughboy belly anymore, when she used to sit there and she didn't have something to be able to, push on.
That happens with hernia surgery.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's all gone away. So the weird thing about it is now I don't have the belly button like I used to. It's closed up more. It's actually shrunk.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, that might be a good thing. That means no more belly button lint.
Um, my father-in-law had hernia surgery, and they um reconstructed a bit of a facsimile kind of thing.
Okay, now, where was his hernia at?
Um, yeah, his daughter here saying 3 or 4 different hernias, and
Okay,
I think it was
well,
right about in that area.
okay, well, now that, like they say, they've got, okay, yeah, there's the umbilical style, which is what I have. Okay, and the doctor, he put it out, you know, I like this doctor. He comes straight out and tells you it's something that everybody has got that defect in their body from birth because it's right there where your belly button is. That's a natural hole going in through the body. Um, so it's something. I mean, if you haven't had that, type of hernia, which is the most common. Hey, Randy, you have a good night. Appreciate you
Oh,
being here.
good night, Randy.
Um,
Ooh.
so I mean, like I said, it's that there. I mean, you've got, like I said, that's the most common out of all hernias a person can have because it does happen to be the weakest point in all your abdominal walls.
Um,
Ah, yeah.
yeah, he had that surgery, and then a few days later, right on my birthday, we had gotten a foot of snow overnight, and here he was taking chomping at the bit, wanting to get out there and shovel. We
Yeah,
were
and
we were we were all like, no, no,
yeah,
we got it.
yeah, yeah. DC, that is one of them I've heard that does not feel good at all.
And then just a couple weeks later, daughter Ra um had a gallbladder removal.
Oh,
Um, but that's also one of the very common procedures.
Yeah, I can bend over, Bill. I mean, right now I can't. I mean, considering the fact, how long it's been. First, of course, I wasn't doing the live stream that Monday night after I had it done. Of course, I'm sitting here and all of a sudden I coughed and it felt like something had pulled because I was like, all of a sudden I coughed like, oh, okay, that did not feel good. And I did shut the stream down earlier that night.
Yep, I
But
was there.
I am definitely not taking any chances of picking anything up. The doctor said, gallon of milk, which we figured was about 8 pounds. He even said, he was saying 10. I'm trying to limit myself to 5. If it's over 5 pounds, I'm picking it up. I don't care. Like,
See,
nope,
folks,
nope.
see, folks, he found some common sense.
Yeah. Even the doctor, when I went in for the checkup the other day, last week, he's saying, yeah, people after 4 weeks, they say they're feeling fine. They're going, oh, I'm feeling great. Nothing wrong. Bam. They decide to pick up something heavy. All of a sudden, they're back in because they've done ripped those stitches because the muscle has not had the perfect time to heal. That's the reason why they say 6 weeks. Yeah, that's probably, about right, DC. Yep. One way to get dinner getting started. But Bill, yeah, I mean, that the first couple of weeks I was definitely taking it easier. I'm still taking it easy. Um, but I'm getting to where I'm doing a little bit more as far as bending over, but I'm still not doing my normal 100%, 100% routine. No, I'm not bowling, even though I'd like to. Um, oh, nice, Sarah. I a little bit at the beginning, especially. I had more trouble sleeping because of this. The hernia? No. I mean, when I had the carpal tunnel surgery done, not really. Um, carpal tunnel was done on the 13th, so I took, the pain medicine that night. Friday I didn't take any. Saturday I didn't take any. Sunday I didn't take any. Sunday night I took it because that's when I did this. And I'm actually been in more pain from this right here than with this or the hernia. I don't know. That I have no idea on. All I know is that they got the IV in me and then got me into the operating room, hit me with uh, the good drugs and everything to knock me out. I don't remember anything until I woke up in the recovery room later. That's the only thing that was embarrassing because, yeah, you're knocked out and you got the IV and everything going into you. And of course, they say don't eat or drink anything, after midnight the day of your surgery. That's only because once they give you those knockout drugs, the sedatives, you have no control over bodily functions. And unfortunately, hey, I'll admit that, yeah, when I'm waking up and I needed to be dried off. and the bed was wet. But that's something that would normally happen to someone who's in surgery because you lose total function over your bladder and the other. You can't control them. You have no control over them whatsoever.
Okay, I got
Yep.
her chicken patties in,
Okay.
and because Sarah mentioned it, bit more coffee.
Okay.
Going through the getting made up right now.
Okay. Well, Crystal's let me know that she brought the stuff in, and a couple of the items are actually what she's wanting.
Mm.
Yeah. So she'll be doing a video on that, um, and everything. Oh, DC, don't tell them just the day before start eating a whole bunch of beans. Tell them, hey, don't worry, I'm already filled up with gas.
Mm.
Now, I do know that the funny thing about that is I do know one procedure that, yeah, they do fill you up with gas. That's a colonoscopy. So, yeah, they actually insert and get you filled up with gas and everything. And that way they can get in there with the camera and everything to look around, looking up your throat. Of course, they don't even give you a reach around or a nice kiss on the cheek while they're doing it. They feel violated. But the weird thing about it is, I've heard several people say, once you wake up from the anesthesia, the knockout stuff, there's one thing that you are required to do before you can leave, and that's pass gas. They want to hear you, yeah, of course, now we know Arnie's an expert at that. But yeah, you've got to break wind. They have to hear you break wind before they'll let you go home. Yeah, sir. I know a couple of people that have actually had a colonoscopy. Now, they didn't do that to me. I don't know why. I was expecting it, but I guess maybe I already blew it all out while I was still sleeping. I don't know. But all I know is two people I know, they personally had it done themselves, and yeah, they could not leave until they had it all blast out. Oh, yeah, well, I've only had it done once, and of course they didn't find anything, and that's only because, well, the reason I had it done because I was having those digestive tract issues a couple years ago, and they were trying to figure out what was going on. So they decided to do colonoscopy, and okay, because they did want up doing the video of me taking the, I guess the liquid pipe cleaner, you could say. Wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Not as bad as I've heard. Thank you, Sarah.
CDC, chicken patties.
He only put two, so I guess he needs to put a third one. Hey, and Sarah, you forgot one thing. Share this out. Duke, there could be Patty Smythe. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, for me, it's like that night. It's like, do not go very far from the bathroom. And I had to drink that stuff. I think it was what, a gallon of that, and I had to get it all down in hour and a half, something like that. Well, they didn't have me do that. They gave me, it was one bottle and it had the powder and everything in it. That one up mixing up and everything. It had like the lemon lime flavor. It wasn't that bad. And got it mixed up the day before and had it sitting in the fridge. So, like I said, I know I did the video on it. Yeah. Well, I mean, you could have, DC, you could always do the redneck toilet. Get your toilet seat and have it mounted on a 5-gallon bucket and strap it to you. And make sure it doesn't have anything come out. Secure a piece in there going this way and back at the toilet seat like that. That way, when you stand up, that comes level and nothing come out past it. Yeah, do that. Camping toilet too. That works. Oh, daughter, this stuff they give you now, 30 minutes. True. I mean, Crystal saw me. Yeah, it was like, I think about 20, 30 minutes later. Yeah, okay, bathroom. And I already had like 3 glasses of it by the time it first hit. All right, let's get on a little bit of a different subject. So, how many, who else saw the second video I put out today with the about my dust collection system I want to get going?
Not me. I've been taking care of other stuff today.
All right, well, daughter's got a question for you.
I think I see a 1 minute left on the counter, on the timer thing. Air
Now,
fry.
hey, now one thing I'll admit, I see all these videos out there on YouTube where all these guys do woodworking. They got the nice big, garage, with concrete floor and uh, uh, very nice and well lit and everything. They got all the room. They probably got like a 20 by 30 or a 30 by 30 garage. Like I said, nice, 8-foot walls and concrete floor. You look at what I've got to work with. We're talking, I'm in a 2-car garage. It was built over 100 years ago, made for a couple of Model Ts with a dirt floor. Okay. I don't have that kind of a setup. and like I said, I don't have a problem showing it. Okay, fine. Someone doesn't like it. Yeah, I know it's small, it's cramped, got stuff, in here, but it's what I have to work with.
You're saying you have a small space.
Yeah, I mean,
I got my little tiny little space.
hey, Gang of Setter, this is only a 20 by 20 garage, okay? So I'm in half of it, so I'm in a 10 by 20 right here. I got the other 10 by 20 over there. So I've got that table saw, I've got the planer, I've got the uh, that router, got my miter saw, plus I got my dust collection system set up over there. That's taking up a lot of room over there. So I'm very limited. Plus, I still haven't got everything out that I need to. I get that uh, tiller and everything out. That's going to give me a lot more room. Because right now, yeah, it's buried. I mean, I've gotten a lot of stuff cleared out of this garage. I mean, if you go back to watching some of my older videos and everything, you'll see how much I've actually cleared out of this garage. Because actually, where I'm sitting at right now, that I used to have um, a little storage cabinet sitting right here on its side. That was my work table for a while. And sitting right here, they used to be, like I said, the going into Walmart with their, or Hobby Lobby. I guess you could have gone into Joann's and seen if you go to the fabric department and you got all those books, catalogs, stuff like that, with all the showing the different patterns by McCall's and some of the other, manufacturers. They say, okay, well, you need, this, pattern is in your so and so. You turn around, you got those 4 or 5 foot wide metal cabinets that are about, over a foot deep and everything, or tall and probably about 2 foot deep. Slid those whole things. I had a stack of 7 of them sitting here. Those are gone. Yep. Yeah, and in DC, I'll put like this. Right now, my truck, I've got the rear end sitting up on 2 jack stands. Those jack stands are sitting on a piece of uh, 1/2 inch plywood. That plywood's sitting on dirt. I don't have a concrete slab to put it on. The only thing concrete I've got is that other garage sitting over there. Or when they poured the slab and everything, when they added on to this garage, because on the other side of this wall over here, it's like an 8 foot. They did 8 by 20, and that's our wash house. That's where they got the washer and dryer at. So for me, I have to, I don't have, as I say, I don't have the luxuries of some of these other people you see out there. I'm doing everything, you know, the motorcycle, I worked that out there on the concrete sidewalk. Yeah, but yeah, I agree. I don't have a lift. I'd love to have one. Can I afford one? Do I have space for one? No. Yep. Yeah, that's about like for me. I've got the sidewalk. Both driveways are gravel. Like I said, the only concrete I got is what's in the other garage, and that floor, when they poured it, they didn't put any rebar in it. That's why the floor is all cracked the way it is. Um, and then the only slab I've got is I got it out over here. That's where I put that tire machine I picked up from Harbor Freight. and it's actually anchored down there. I mean, I'd love to have a concrete floor. Can I afford one? No. I mean, one thing I want to do, hopefully this year, is start working on clearing out the backyard, get the permit, and actually build another. Give me an actual thinking like a 16 by 24 shop out in the backyard. But what I do is I get holes dug and everything, and get the those tubes and everything to go down with the 2 foot. Fill those up with concrete, and then get those little anchors that go in it. That way, I can put the 2x4s, 2x6s for the floor joists. That way, it's up above the ground and in concrete. Oh,
Mm? No, it's not.
Robert, yeah, probably tell him, hey, it's getting too hot in here. I need to cool off.
No, there's no chicken patties in the air fryer right now.
Ah,
They're out.
looks like daughter is in there trying to start working on them.
Yeah, she is. She's making them. We do them up and make them into sandwiches.
Ah, I like getting the ones that Walmart's got. It's in the bag and everything frozen. I get them heated up and then get.
See, look. And then she has a big bowl of different veggies: celery, carrot, radishes, and a little bit of veggie dip. Oh, cucumber too.
Did you make enough for everybody? No,
She's like, no, I'm not sharing.
stingy. But I like getting that with some gravy and everything, and then maybe uh, mashed potatoes and maybe some green beans with a little onion in there and some bacon.
Mm. Um,
She might, Bill.
I've used chicken patties as a kind of a cheater way to do chicken parmesan.
Yeah, you can do that. I know people that have
Uh,
actually used them for doing a cheap way of doing chicken cordon bleu.
Bill, she does not. CDC, she don't like the fish or seafood or anything. Well, all right, we can do that at some point.
See,
We know.
DC for me, I've yet to uh, well, take it back. I have actually had one tool that I bought from Harbor Freight that wound up breaking, but that's only because it was a piece of junk to begin with. It's like, okay, nope, not this thing is not worth it. And that was that. think it was for drilling holes, but it had the two things that you could slide out and everything for different sizes.
What was that just went by?
Uh,
I swear, I just saw something go by.
yeah, I know. I think that's a big old fly or a moth, because I've got it buzzing around me right now.
Okay, so I am not going crazy.
No, and I saw it too. It's like, hold it, what was that?
Um. Anyway, as we were, I'm sorry, where were we?
Talking about cooking and stuff like that. Talking about the chicken patties.
Uh huh.
And Bill trying to get a date with somebody, even though I think he's married. You try and get something on the side. But like I said, I've got this.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about the drill attachment at Harbor Freight that you broke.
Oh yeah. No, I
What?
didn't have a moth come out.
What was it? Some sort of uh, depth of, depth gauge or something?
No. Like I said,
Uh,
it was uh, for cutting holes. Um. Oh, there it is. And it's by Warrior too. Hang on, I'll show you.
uh, uh,
It's that thing right there. And what really,
circle.
yeah,
Oh, I see the two wings and whatnot
yeah,
with the
you've got
scribes on them.
right. You've got these two here. You loosen up there, and they slide out. Of course, you got the uh, little markings to tell you how far. So that goes through, and then these cut. Well, what happened was this bar here, they didn't have it attached to that shank there. So
Mm.
all of a sudden, I'm sitting there spinning, and I had this, moved out, and that moved out. Well, all of a sudden, that is up against it, and that was all the way out here. It's like, okay, this piece of junk. And I do not remember what size I was trying to cut. But okay, never mind.
3.5 stars it has, it looks.
Yeah, and I mean, for $7, to me, I was really not out all that much money. I was like, okay, never mind. Robert, easy way to get that is book a cruise with like Carnival or Royal Caribbean, because one of the nights they're gonna have lobster. They should have lobster on the menu. I mean, it's all you can eat. Actually, with Carnival, you can get it twice. Third time, you'd have to pay extra, but it's still worth it. But it's not cheap because, in fact, if you go by yourself, you're looking about $1,200-1,300 just for the cruise itself. That'd be kind of an expensive dinner, but you're getting it. You're getting those dinners. What, 4 nights, 4 or 5 nights, something like that.
Yep. And a trip and everything else.
Yeah, and yeah. Tell you what, Stephen would have to PayPal me, that way then I'd be able to do it to you. Because I've been out of work since March the 12th, Yeah, I looked at my bank account today and said, yeah. It's like the Titanic. It's going down, 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 down.
Well, funny you mentioned Titanic, considering the date.
Okay, whatever it was, yeah. Yeah, it was a big old flag you saw flying around here. Hey, there's Bryce. How you doing?
Hey,
Yep,
Bryce.
boom, boom, baby.
Um,
I got shafted this month on garage trivia.
but
Nobody
yeah,
showed nobody showed up to vote for me.
I'm always sleeping when garage trivia happens. I gotta be up the next morning for work.
No, you don't. You can call in sick. All right, I must have another fly around here. Oh no, that's the same one. It must have just shocked him because he hit the floor. And that's a big old fly too. Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, hey, I got some of the points. Second's not bad. That just means I was the first runner up.
Well, I just heard it go
Heard
by.
what?
That
Yeah,
fly.
it's actually flying around the camera. Yeah, I know. You got Morticia and Wednesday. Hey,
What?
send Morticia on over. I'll take her as a donation. Yeah, you can
Oh,
always donate her to me. Probably get
oh.
better taken care of. Drop a nice little 318, which I got about 5 or 6 of them in around here. Ooh, no, I can build up that 340 I've got that's punch 60 over.
All right. What's Morticia?
That's that 52 Dodge he's got. That's that 52. It's a 52 Dodge Wayfarer, 2-door. Now, he's been doing videos on it and everything. Um, I know he's had to redo the drive line, been redoing the brakes, helped him get the ignition system fixed on it. But it's got the straight six in there. Yeah, could always take the straight six out and put the leaning tower of power. That would work in there. Still be a 6-cylinder, and there's a lot. There's a lot out there for uh, more uh, possibilities of parts for the slant six. Get a bigger house, a bigger garage. See, Bryce, that's a problem. You're living in too small of a house. What you need is a 2-bedroom, 18-car garage house. Or just get a small cabin out in the middle of the woods, out in the middle of BFE. See, I can always come up with a good solution. Hey, bingo must be really running late today. I don't think I'm ever wrong. Might not be correct, but I don't think I'm ever wrong. Most of the time I'm right, but right now I'm mostly left. I can't do
Yeah.
anything. I can't do anything right-handed.
They are still going.
Are they?
Yep.
I was gonna say, because yeah, I'm looking at what time it is. Go, yeah, and Arnie and everybody else has not showed up. Bryce, if I was working and I had the money, I'd buy Morticia in a heartbeat. And I'd keep it all Mopar. Maybe drop in a 318, 904, 8 3/4 rear end. Make sure, upgrade it to disc brakes all the way around. That way, at least do the air conditioning, I mean, yeah, it'd be a retro mod, but at least, like I said, keep everything, Mopar all the way. Don't go in there and drop in an LS motor or what was it, a flathead Ford. Hey, you know all about needing air conditioning, because I know it gets pretty hot out there in Arizona. It gets hot out here in Texas too. Bryce, you at work right now, or you gotten home yet? Now, where's your counterpart at? Work, 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 work. Well, that means you're getting the money. Yeah, we have not been seeing Oli in a while. Maybe he's so up there scratching his head trying to figure out, how do I get this Ford to work? Yeah, as soon as I get back to work, I gotta get some bills themselves paid off and everything, and be able to get some stuff done. Oh, um, I saw something the other day, and it's like, damn, I need to get that over to Bryce, because that would make a good trivia question. Now I done forgot what it was. All right, Sarah, no problem. Whenever you're done all that, I can, get in the basement. I'll bring you up. As soon as I can, as soon as I find something, Bryce, I'll definitely send it to you, because it's definitely some of those oddball stuff that nobody else is thinking of. Speaking of which, I do remember one that I don't think anybody would be able to get. Sarah, there is no excuse for you. We tolerate you, but there's no excuse for you. Crocheting is not working. That's a hobby. Oh, speaking of which, I saw something on YouTube, one of their little reels and everything. I'm going, no, it wasn't a reel, it was a little advertisement. And I'm going, I looked at it, that, nope. I told Crystal, I'm not getting this for you. It was a crochet hook that had a built-in flashlight and a stitch counter. But no, if you want to see about doing crocheting in the dark or get you some glow in the dark yarn. Oh, okay. But it's not your normal everyday job. 3Bs, they have tried doing or making a machine that does crochet. They've never been able to get it to work. The only thing that now they have a knitting machine, but that's knitting. It's not crocheting. Crocheting and knitting are two separate things. So I know you got, there's crocheting, there's knitting, and then there's weaving. Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do, knitting and weaving. Sarah will even tell you there's not a machine out there that can do crochet. All right, Sarah. Yeah, I know. Oh, your hair's finally starting to grow back in, Bryce. That's good news.
All right, I gotta get him to bed.
Oh, so you got the gecko. You got that little lizard. Actually, if you bundle, it's supposed to be with Progresso or Progressive. See, Sarah, that's what you're missing if you're not up here. But Bryce, I do have a good one for you. Let me get all the information on it. I'll message it over to you.
All right, Sarah, what's for dinner?
Guess you never had. We know what you had, but we don't know what Sarah was having. We had meatballs.
Swedish or in a tomato sauce or?
It was just the meatballs with some ranch dressing.
Okay.
I mean, it was like I say, it was just the meatballs by themselves. That's good, Bill. But Bryce, I'll put like this: the information I've got on that trivia question, you wouldn't even know. Bingo must be over. Because look who's showing up finally.
Hey, Arnie.
Either that or it's almost over.
Hi, everyone.
So, how much did you win tonight, Arnie, on bingo?
I won one game.
That's good. So, who all was there tonight that's normally here? Was Susan over there?
Yeah, Susan's there. Cricket, Lydia.
See, that's where everybody's at. They've been over there at bingo.
And they're wondering how Steven's doing.
Oh, I'm over here. Hey, if they tune in over here, they see me.
Yeah, if everybody shows up, they'll be able to see them.
And I know sometimes I've gotten sidetracked playing a different game myself.
Of course, if they all show up, they get a chance to see this great, handsome host of the channel.
Who's a glutton for punishment when he comes up to his hands?
I'll raise my hand on that one. Yeah, I'm being punished. One thing I'm waiting for is 2 weeks to be able to get a chance to go back in for them to do the other x-ray to see how the bone's doing as far as healing up. Because that'll be less than 6 weeks. All right. No, yeah, be right around 6 weeks. Yeah, got Sarah here and DC if she's still hanging around. Well, Arnie, did you see that video I put out earlier today after I got back from the doctor?
No, I didn't. I had a doctor appointment to myself today.
Well, we already knew that there were 2 stitches in that they missed. Nope, there was 3 of them.
Oh.
Yeah, one of them that was further down on the hand that Crystal and I both missed. And they wound up getting that one out. That might have actually been from when I actually went to the ER. They got missed from the surgery.
Yeah.
Mm.
So don't know on that one. But all I know is that, yeah, there were 3 stitches that got missed. Hey, Angela.
Hey, Angela.
Hi, Angela.
So, as of right now, he looked at it. He said, yep, everything's healed up on it. No need to put any dressing on it at all. So the only thing I've got is I've got the splint on, and I've just got that little ace bandage style helping hold it on.
Oh.
I mean, right now I really don't need the ace bandage, but I'm still wearing it.
Yeah.
I may wind up taking it off tonight when I go to bed. But I do know that I will be putting that ice pack on. Hopefully that'll see about maybe try and get some of the swelling to go down. This hand is still swollen up. Of course, the doctor was saying that's normal after what I've gone through.
Yeah.
Crystal, she got some stuff in that I know for a fact that I guarantee it won't be that much longer. And she's gonna be doing a video of an unboxing. There's the boss. There's Layla. You're being quiet. She must be happy. Yeah. I can see it in those eyes. Oh, she's definitely happy because if she's bathing herself while you're holding her, yeah, she's happy and comfortable.
Yeah.
That's one way you tell if a cat is very comfortable.
She decided to take a shower with me this morning.
And it's not even Saturday night either.
I was in the shower and she came in right after.
Yeah, 3Bs. Yeah, you definitely see it in the eyes. Okay, now she's starting to get a little upset.
Okay.
She goes, "Okay, I've had my attention. I'm ready to get the hell out of here." Yeah, like I said, I wound up doing that video. Coming back from the doctor, it's like, yeah, I need to do the other. Actually, one thing I was telling Crystal is one thing I want to do. As far as the other side, once I get my hand back to normal, is I'm actually going to make a little workstation that's outside. Um, and it's just going to be for that way. I've got the miter saw, or my other miter saw and everything, so I can get the stuff made for replacing the one I've got in here. And also, I want to build a little cabinet for the table saw to sit on. That way, I can be able to store all my saw blades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Try and get some things better organized.
Yeah. Ooh. Mm.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, Arnie, we were even talking about you earlier. Because we got talking about different surgeries, this, that, and the other, and we got on the subject of colonoscopy. And the thing about that is, the fact is that I know a couple of people have had to go and have it done.
Yeah.
There is one requirement that you must do before they will let you leave the recovery room, before they will even discharge you. Would you get there?
Doctor wants me to do this. Yeah.
And what's that? Colonoscopy?
Yeah.
So we're talking at the right time then. But no, the fact is that two people I know, two people I know, in person and everything, they've had it done. And there's one thing you are required, they make you do before they'll even let you leave. Yep, because they fill you up with gas and everything. They have to hear you pass wind before they'll even let you leave. And we go, oh, Arnie's the expert on that.
Yeah, my dad had it done several times, and he'd be like, and they
Yep.
were long.
Foghorn.
Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah. But I mean, and that's the funny thing is like, yeah. But it is required. Now, for some reason, when I had mine done, I'm going, okay, they're going to have to, they're going to want to hear me fart and everything. Either I did it before I woke up or they didn't ask.
Here's a good one. One time I was in the hospital. My back was towards the door, and I'm just laying there. I think I was doing something on my laptop or just watching TV, and all of a sudden I let one go. Doctor comes walking in and says, "Now that's a good one." Literally scared the pants off of me.
I know someone that they wound up doing, they were in the hospital for something else and they wound up doing it. And she was embarrassed because the doctor was in there at the time. And doctor said, why? It's a natural bodily, function. There's nothing to be ashamed about. It's just something your body naturally does, which is true.
Yeah.
I know in Europe, everybody, here, you burp and everything, everybody, it's like, oh man, he must have a, stomach problem. I know over in Europe, if you go to the restaurant and everything, you sit there and burp. Yeah, you do that after you've had dinner at a restaurant. It's a compliment to the chef. They actually do want to hear you do that.
Yeah.
Now, if a burp is a compliment, what's a fart then? Is that saying it ain't worth a crap?
A veto.
Well, I'm just saying, is that telling the chef, hey, your food ain't worth the crap? That's all you get for the fart? Oh,
Why was I anticipating the fella over here to make a Mexican food joke?
I didn't say Mexican. I said European.
No, because Mexican food and the whole
I didn't say
stereo.
Mexican. Hey, be Italian.
Kitty, kitty.
I never said Mexican. Think about it. Mexico is part of North America. Spain is over in Europe. So I didn't say anything Spanish, which could be. Could be German, could be Czech, could be English, Italian, Greek, all that. It could even be Polish. It could be even a Swedish, but to meet the balls. But I just remembered a video I was watching earlier. I was telling Crystal about it. I'm going, this cop needs to be framed because he needs to be taken off the street, and because he has no compassion or common sense whatsoever. Get his dash cam going, and it's showing, flow of traffic. He's sitting like in the median and everything. You can see the one direction going away from him. They got a green light, but you can't see the traffic coming towards him, and you can't see the light for traffic coming off the highway. See his 18-wheeler, he comes up, he doesn't stop, goes right on through, and the cop follows him into a pilot truck stop. Guy pulls in behind the other trucks and everything at the pump, gets out, locks the truck, he's starting to head inside, and the cop, starts yelling at him. The guy says, "What do you need? I need to get to the bathroom before I take a dump in my pants." Cop says, "I need to see your license, insurance, and registration because you ran that red light." The guy said, "Fine." Hand him his wallet and everything with his license and everything. And the cop, "I still need to see your insurance and registration." And the guy's trying to explain to him, "Look, I've got upset stomach. I'm about ready to take a dump in my pants." And the cop says, "I don't care. You're not going anywhere." The guy goes back to his truck, unlocks it, climbs up in, gets, his logbook and everything, all that information, hands it to the cop. And he's trying to tell him, "Look, I've got to get in to get to the bathroom."
Yeah.
The cop says, "No, you're not going anywhere." Winds up handcuffing the guy. The guy had surgery on his right shoulder, is recovering from all that. And the cop is trying to get him to put his right arm behind his back. And the guy's yelling, "I've just had surgery and everything done on my shoulder like 2 months ago. It has not healed up." Then the cop tasers the guy. Okay? The guy does wind up soiling himself. And I'm going, what kind of freaking idiot of a cop have we got out there that cannot understand that someone, especially a truck driver, being on the road, they're not used to being, someone like that is on the road. So they're not stopping just, going from work to home, maybe to the grocery store or something like that. They're out there, 100, 200 miles a day? And their object
700.
Yeah. So, they're trying to take their load and everything to where they got to drop it off at.
Yeah.
The only time they're really stopping is for fuel, or if they got, they've hit their hours. This cop did not have the common sense or decency. What he should have done was said, "Okay, fine. I'll follow you in, and I'll wait outside the door of the restroom." Could have let the guy go in, do his business. The cop could have stood there. He could have gone in the bathroom at the stall door. Okay? Could have waited. They could have come outside. This way he should have either be outside the bathroom, or he could have been outside the toilet stall waiting. That way the guy's not running away. Let the guy do his business, come outside where he be nice and calm and everything, and say, "Okay, here's what we need to do. You did not stop at the red light. You ran a red light." It's like, "Okay, I'm just going to write you up." Instead, guy gets put in handcuffs, gets tased, sold himself, and gets taken to jail. What kind of an idiot cop is that? And that's why people are going, "I hate cops," because you got the stupid idiot ones out there doing crap like that.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't driving a Dodge. It was a big rig. It wasn't a sleeper style, so it was just a, like a local. I don't remember seeing a sleeper on the back of the cab, but it was a regular 18-wheeler. But to me, that was so damn stupid and idiotic. So yeah, I mean, and people wonder why we have problems with cops nowadays because they act like that. They want to act like thugs. Have some common sense and decency. Someone tells you, "Hey, I'm trying to get to the bathroom." Okay, fine. I'll walk with you. The guy's not driving away. His rig is sitting right there. Could have said, "Okay, let me have your keys to the rig. That way I know you're not gonna, come back and try and drive off." Guy said, "Some cop told me that. Fine. Here's my keys. I gotta get to the bathroom." I know exact feeling because I had that problem 2 years ago. I told that to Crystal. She goes, "What?" I don't know if I can find it or not. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, yeah. Found it. So I want you. I'm gonna put it here. There's a link to it. I want everybody to go take a look at that video because that, like I said, that is something that was very stupid and impatient of an officer. And you tell me, was the officer right in doing the way he did it, or should he have done his job different? Yeah, I know I got up on my little soapbox and everything, but that's well. If he's doing that, then that cop can call Rotor Rooter. I mean, I do know for a fact one time I was coming back home and I was on the bike and I had about 5 miles to be able to get home. It's like I got that urge to go. Yeah, I was scooting along, went by highway patrol. Luckily, he didn't want to pull me over. I told him, "Look, I'm heading home, and I'm trying to get to the bathroom."
Well, you're not going anywhere right now.
All right, Arnie's got it playing because I can hear it. But I mean, I would have told him, "Look, I'm trying to get home, get to the bathroom, and everything. That's why I'm in a hurry. I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Like if you tell an officer to pull you over and then want to know why you're going so fast or why you didn't stop this, that, and the other, okay, then they should understand that. I mean, you gotta be considerate of people and everything. The cop, like I said, what the cop should have done, follow him into the truck stop. He could have stood outside the door of the restroom, wait till the guy came out. They could have discussed it like two civilized people.
Yeah.
Instead, the cop didn't even want to do that. Anyways, like I said, there's that. And I know I'm already past my 2 hours.
It's like a story I saw last week. It's a guy with a pickup truck and a black guy with a Cadillac. They both go to the car wash together to wash their vehicles. And the black guy hands the guy
Oh,
with the
hands in the
pickup,
cigarette.
a cigarette.
Yeah, and they're co-workers. I saw that video. Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous. It's like, you just handed me a cigarette. It was an off-duty cop that called it in.
Yeah.
And the officers that showed up were going off of what was told to them by an off-duty officer. They didn't do their investigation correctly at all. All right, I'm running over. I know. That's fine. You got me on a little soapbox here.
Ooh, excuse me.
I saw a video today. This guy winds up buying some. He goes into Walmart, buys some stuff. He's got his receipt. Okay? He leaves. Got everything in the bag. Got the receipt and everything. He's going to get on the bus. Realizes he doesn't have the change he needs for the bus fare. He goes back into Walmart. They don't say anything to him as he goes in. Gets the change he needs. He leaves. Gets on the bus. Cops track it down. They literally have him on the floor of the bus, drag him out, and accusing him of theft. And he says, theft of what? They said, Walmart. He goes, I got my receipt right here. They didn't even want to look at the receipt. Drag him all the way back to Walmart because someone there at Walmart said, oh, this guy stole the stuff. It was already off the property on a city bus. Cops drag him back there after they've already beat him up, handcuff him, realize, oh, the Walmart employees, yeah, the receipt does match everything he's got with him, so he didn't steal anything. All the cops had to do was question, ask him, and, could have taken on, being nice and everything about it. Tell him, hey, we got a report of, possible that you stole some stuff from Walmart. The guy said, okay, well, here's my receipt. It'll match up everything I got in my bags. Cops didn't even want to do that. Beat him up, drag him off the bus, handcuff him, haul him all the way back to Walmart. Is that the kind of police departments we want nowadays? No.
Mm.
And like I said, that's the main reason why a lot of police are not respected because of the crap that they pull. They don't know the law. They don't have common sense. They don't have decency. They don't know how to treat people. That's why we got so many of the videos out there on YouTube about police brutality. It's like, gee, I wonder why. Anyways, yeah, I gotta get off soapbox. I got some trash that needs to get out of here. Get out to the trash container, that way it can get taken down.
Yeah.
Arnie, you got any final words?
Yeah, I hope everyone has a good night and stay safe wherever you are.
All right. Steven, you got anything?
Yeah, everybody have a good night. Stay safe out there. Don't let the farts get you too much.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate Steven and Arnie coming up on panel. Appreciate everybody that come up and chat and everything tonight. Appreciate every one of you. I said, excuse me. Channel wouldn't be what it is without you guys. It's because of you. And I'm not I'm like I said, I'm not trying to do this like the other channels that trying to be where they're. Yes, I am partially monetized. Okay, fine. I'm not making a lot of money off of this. And I'll admit, I've only got one check, and that was like for $110, and that was almost 2 years ago. So I'm not trying to do YouTube as a full-time job like some channels out there.
Yeah.
I'm doing this as a hobby just to have some fun, meet people, learn things, try to say, hey, here's something that, here's an idea. Trying to spread around what I know or what I've learned. I'll see someone do something. It's like, okay, well, I've got a different way of approaching that and everything. So I try to do that. I try to share it with everybody. So I won't be able to do much. I can't do much right now because this right here. So everybody, stay safe out there. Don't do like I did. Practice safe tool strategy.
Yes.
Yeah. Just remember, I saw blade, any kind of saw blade will bite you when you're not expecting it. A lot of damage. So,
Especially if you have a bandage already on from a surgery.
Yeah, and wait till the next day.
Yeah. Or let someone else get in there and do it for you. But like I said, I appreciate everybody's here. So everybody, stay safe. Don't do like I've done. Do it more safely. And y'all say, like I said, stay safe. Good night. God bless. And I guess Arnie will be live tomorrow night. And I'll be back Wednesday. And we're still waiting on Steven to do a live stream, which might be next decade. Yeah.
And plus, it might be here on YouTube, but it might be over on Twitch, depending on what exactly I'm doing.
Yeah. So, anyways, everybody, y'all have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
So, good night, everybody.